From Miami mansions to a federal lockup known as Hell on Earth, Sean Diddy Combs now faces a grim reality at the notorious Metropolitan Detention Center, MDC, in Brooklyn. Once a music mogul with immense power, he is now trapped in a violent and decaying prison system infamous for its deadly conditions, including suicides, stabbings, and horrifying living quarters. But what led to this shocking downfall? And could it be more than just the legal charges stacking up against him? Rumors are swirling. Allegations of hidden recordings, criminal connections, and dangerous enemies like Suge Knight add to the intrigue. Is this a simple case of justice being served, or are darker forces at play, determined to keep Diddy silent at all costs? With his life on the line in a facility known for its chaos, the question remains, will Diddy survive to tell his side of the story? Or has this legendary figure finally met his match in the dangerous world behind bars? But before we continue, do yourself a favor, like and subscribe to the channel for more updates on this explosive story. Buckle up, because the full details are nothing short of shocking. Sean Diddy Combs, once living in luxury, now faces the brutal reality of Brooklyn's notorious Metropolitan Detention Center, MDC, a far cry from his mansions in Miami and Los Angeles. At 54, the hip-hop mogul is locked up after pleading not guilty to decade-spanning abuse allegations, with his defense team failing to keep him out of this hellish facility. The MDC is infamous for its horrific conditions, rampant violence, and deadly incidents, leading some judges to avoid sending inmates there, but not this time. Combs remains in federal custody, awaiting trial on charges of racketeering, conspiracy, and abuse, with no trial date set. Despite his legal team's appeals, Combs was denied bail, leaving him stuck in MDC's violent environment, which has previously housed high-profile figures like R. Kelly and Ghislaine Maxwell. Lawyers argue that the jail's grim conditions will hinder Combs' ability to prepare for trial, but the court remains firm in keeping him locked up to protect witnesses from potential threats or tampering. With his defense battling these harsh realities, the question of how long Combs will be detained remains open. The MDC, built in the early 1990s, was originally designed for short-term inmates awaiting trial, but has since become notorious for overcrowding, violence, and lockdowns that deny prisoners basic rights like phone calls, showers, or outdoor recreation. Detainees frequently complain of contraband smuggling and understaffing, further fueling the chaos inside the facility. The prison has witnessed recent deaths, including a fatal stabbing in June and another inmate's death in a brawl, solidifying its brutal reputation. MDC Brooklyn's problems run deep. A 2019 power outage left the facility without heat and light for a week, plunging prisoners into freezing conditions during a brutal New York winter. Inmates were confined to their cells without functioning toilets, igniting outrage and prompting an investigation by the Department of Justice. A $10 million lawsuit settlement was reached with the 1,600 inmates affected by the outage, but the jail's reputation continues to suffer. In recent years, several staff members have been charged with smuggling contraband, accepting bribes, and other illegal activities. The COVID-19 pandemic only worsened conditions, with MDC being the first federal facility to report a positive case in March 2020. Court filings revealed that by November, the jail was operating at just 55% of its needed staffing, leaving both inmates and guards vulnerable in an already unstable environment. Judges are increasingly reluctant to send inmates to MDC Brooklyn due to its dangerous conditions. One judge, Farhan, opted to keep a convicted drug offender on bail rather than subjecting him to the jail's horrific environment. Another judge, Gary Brown, chose home confinement for a tax fraud defendant to avoid exposing him to the brutal conditions at MDC, further highlighting the growing outcry against the facility. In response to public pressure, the Bureau of Prisons has temporarily stopped sending new inmates to MDC, although 43 individuals are currently serving sentences in its minimum security wing. The Bureau claims it is reviewing and adjusting safety protocols, but critics argue these measures are too little, too late. Meanwhile, Combs' attorney, Mark Agnifilo, continues to argue that the prison's conditions are making it impossible for his client to properly prepare for the upcoming trial. The Metropolitan Detention Center, MDC, in Brooklyn, constructed in the 1990s to reduce overcrowding in New York City's prisons, now primarily holds inmates awaiting trial. Recently, Michael Cohen, a former inmate, shared details of Sean Diddy Combs' rough experience there. According to Cohen, Combs is living in a small, uncomfortable 8x 10-foot cell, sleeping on a steel bed with a thin mattress and no pillow. Cohen, who was incarcerated in 2020, described the extremely tight quarters in the special housing unit, where Combs has just a 3x 5-foot space to move around. During his first days, Combs likely had little to no access to reading material or other basic comforts, making his stay even more grueling. The conditions at MDC Brooklyn have drawn criticism for years, especially following the closure of the Metropolitan Correctional Center, MCC, in Manhattan in 2021 after Jeffrey Epstein's death in 2019. MCC's closure came after severe staffing shortages, crumbling infrastructure, and security lapses were exposed. Detainees were relocated to MDC Brooklyn and Otisville Prison, but the same issues persist at MDC, leading Combs' legal team to argue that his detention there is unsafe, especially after reports of deaths at the facility. Concerns over Combs' safety are mounting, particularly after the Epstein tragedy, and U.S. Attorney Damian Williams has publicly stated that prisoner safety is a top concern. However, Combs' lawyer, Mark Agnifilo, voiced strong objections to his client being kept in MDC's Special Housing Unit, SHU, where high security makes trial preparation difficult. Agnifilo has requested that Combs be transferred to a New Jersey jail, but the final decision on that has been left to the Bureau of Prisons. Meanwhile, an Associated Press investigation has revealed shocking issues within the Bureau of Prisons itself, pointing to inmate escapes, widespread violence, and frequent deaths, all exacerbated by severe staffing shortages. The situation is so dire that earlier this year, the Bureau closed a notorious women's prison in California, dubbed the Rape Club, after reports surfaced of staff sexually abusing inmates. The disturbing state of the prison system has sparked changes, including a law signed by President Joe Biden in July to improve oversight. As reports of Combs' detention continue to surface, the situation grows increasingly concerning. Insiders suggest Combs has faced threats from other inmates, raising serious fears for his safety. This isn't just another celebrity in trouble. NBC has described the conditions Combs is enduring as hell. Beyond the discomfort and danger of his physical environment, his arrest has led to speculation that his legal troubles could expose dark secrets in the entertainment world. Prison insiders have painted a grim picture of life inside MDC Brooklyn, a place notorious for overcrowding, violence, and horrid living conditions. For someone like Combs, who once lived in luxury, the shock is even more jarring. Sharing space with other infamous figures, including Ghislaine Maxwell, has only heightened the risk. The threats against him may be connected to the stigma attached to his alleged crimes. In prison culture, individuals charged with sexual offenses, especially involving minors or women, face extreme hostility from other inmates. Sex offenders often find themselves at the bottom of the prison hierarchy, targeted for abuse and violence. This mistreatment comes from a deeply ingrained prison culture that views such offenses as particularly despicable. Many inmates charged with sexual crimes are harassed, physically attacked, or even forced into protective custody just to survive. These dangers are especially severe in high-security prisons like MDC, where Combs' high-profile status and alleged offenses make him a prime target. On top of all this, rumors have surfaced about Combs' connections to organized crime, putting him in an even more precarious position. Some speculate that powerful figures within the criminal underworld may want to silence him, fearing that he could expose damning secrets about their operations. Combs has spent decades in the entertainment industry, accumulating knowledge on many influential individuals, and if he starts talking, the fallout could be catastrophic for those involved. The charges against him, which include serious allegations like trafficking and racketeering, followed a long investigation by federal authorities, signaling that they have built a strong case against him. The case surrounding Diddy has intensified after federal authorities conducted 2 major raids on his homes in Miami and Los Angeles. During these raids, they seized various incriminating items, including videos of what he allegedly called freak-offs, hinting at his involvement in disturbing activities. Diddy's arrest was anything but subtle. He reportedly cooperated with authorities and even moved to New York in anticipation of the charges. His behavior suggests he may have seen the storm coming and believed he could manage it. However, things have spiraled out of his control, and now the spotlight is on him. There are rising concerns about the repercussions if Diddy chooses to reveal sensitive information. His arrest could send shockwaves through the entertainment industry, implicating not just himself, but many others. The notion that someone might try to silence Diddy behind bars is no longer far-fetched, especially considering the understaffed and problematic conditions of the prison he's in. The risk Diddy poses was made crystal clear by U.S. District Judge Robin Tarnowski, who denied his bail. Citing his violent past and immense wealth, Tarnowski stated that Diddy presents both a flight risk and a potential danger to the community. There are serious concerns that he could obstruct justice or intimidate witnesses if released. For someone with his status, these risks are heightened. With a long history of enemies and falling outs with former associates, Diddy's precarious situation grows darker by the day. Whether or not he planned to cooperate with authorities, his knowledge of deep-seated secrets within the entertainment industry could cause significant damage if they come to light. Diddy's arrest follows a years-long federal investigation that included the execution of countless subpoenas and search warrants. Prosecutors are now sifting through mountains of digital evidence, reportedly managing dozens of terabytes of data. This indicates that Diddy's case goes far beyond his personal actions, involving a wide-reaching network of individuals and criminal enterprises. Federal prosecutors argue that his business empire was a front for illegal activities, built on exploitation, abuse, and intimidation. The investigation was largely fueled by a lawsuit filed by Diddy's ex-girlfriend Cassie in late 2023, which exposed years of alleged abuse. Though they settled the case privately, the allegations opened a floodgate of scrutiny surrounding Diddy's behavior and connections. The investigation now threatens to implicate a host of powerful figures in Diddy's inner circle. There are persistent rumors that hidden cameras were planted at his infamous parties, where high-profile guests were unknowingly recorded in compromising situations. If these recordings exist, they could explain why so many powerful people might want to see Diddy silenced. The existence of such footage would give insight into the intense danger Diddy currently faces. Known for living lavishly, throwing extravagant parties in his mansions on Star Island, and pushing boundaries throughout his career, Diddy's larger-than-life image may now be crumbling. Decades of rumors about his shady financial dealings and violent tendencies are catching up with him. The federal indictment against Diddy highlights the serious nature of these allegations. Prosecutors claim he used his influence to create a network of loyalists who helped him maintain control over his empire. As the case unfolds, it could reveal a much darker side of the entertainment industry, implicating others who have long operated behind the scenes. With the potential for explosive revelations looming, Diddy now faces not only a complex legal battle, but also life-threatening danger from those who fear what he might expose. His arrest wasn't a one-off event. It was the culmination of months of investigations that uncovered a treasure trove of electronic devices, incriminating documents, and firearms with altered serial numbers, further piling up the evidence against him. Diddy's situation sets him apart from the usual celebrity scandals. He finds himself at the epicenter of an investigation that threatens to shake the entire entertainment industry. The lingering question is, how far will those connected to Diddy go to keep him silent? As this story develops, it's becoming clear that his legal troubles run deeper and darker than initially thought. The possibility that Diddy's life could be at risk while he's in prison is becoming more plausible as new details emerge about his situation. His extensive involvement in controversial events throughout his career, coupled with his alleged knowledge of damaging secrets, has put a massive target on his back. For years, Diddy has navigated the entertainment world, rubbing elbows with some of the industry's most powerful figures. However, that level of influence has also earned him a fair share of enemies. His connections with questionable characters and his ability to balance fame and infamy only deepen the mystery surrounding the threats he now faces. As more information comes to light, the reality of Diddy's precarious position becomes increasingly clear, and many are left wondering just how far those with something to hide will go to ensure he stays quiet. With stakes this high, Diddy's next moves will be crucial, not only for his own survival but also for the reputations and futures of countless others. Throughout his rise to power, Diddy has been haunted by whispers of secrets that could ruin careers if ever revealed. There have been long-standing rumors that Diddy gathered leverage by secretly recording his high-profile parties, capturing every wild moment without his guests knowing. These parties, attended by celebrities, executives, and even politicians, were known for their excess and unpredictability. Now, if these alleged recordings exist, Diddy could possess some of the most explosive information in the entertainment world. The potential fallout from these tapes could be catastrophic, not just for Diddy, but for anyone caught on camera. If these secrets surface, they could completely shift the power dynamics in the industry, leaving Diddy as a dangerous player in a game where information is the ultimate weapon. There's a growing buzz that Diddy used hidden leverage to secure his power, keeping everyone around him in check. The theory claims his empire was built not just on music, but on manipulation, ensuring no one could betray him as long as he held incriminating evidence. While it's impossible to know how much truth lies in these rumors, they've lingered for years. Now, with Diddy in jail, the fear that this alleged evidence could be handed over to authorities is spreading. If he chooses to cooperate, it could send shockwaves through the industry, pulling major names into the spotlight and causing careers to crumble. For those with a past connection to Diddy, the pressure is intense. Some may go to great lengths to keep him from revealing what he knows, as this isn't just a battle for reputation, it's a fight for survival in a brutal industry. The tension surrounding Diddy's legal troubles shows just how fragile these alliances really are, with the fear that one misstep could lead to everything crashing down. Diddy has been no stranger to controversy, frequently tied to some of the most infamous moments in hip-hop history, prompting speculation about how involved he really was in these events. One of the most talked about scandals revolves around the unsolved murder of the notorious Big, Diddy's close friend and collaborator. Many believe Diddy knows more than he's let on about Biggie's death, and some even suggest he had a role in the East Coast versus West Coast rivalry that ended in tragedy. Though no hard evidence has surfaced to confirm these accusations, Diddy's ability to dodge serious legal trouble over the years has left many questioning how deep his connections go. His presence at a 1999 nightclub shooting, where several people were injured, only added fuel to the fire, as Diddy walked away relatively unscathed, further solidifying the belief that powerful forces may be protecting him, or that he's the one pulling the strings. As the case against Diddy unfolds, it's becoming increasingly clear that this isn't just another celebrity scandal, it's a potential bombshell for the entire entertainment industry. Diddy's arrest has exposed a web of rumors and allegations that have followed him for decades, from secret recordings to dangerous criminal ties. The possibility that he could hold information capable of toppling major industry figures has created a tense atmosphere, with many fearing the fallout if such secrets come to light. The stakes are higher than ever, and it's not just Diddy's future on the line. Countless reputations and careers hang in the balance. For those once connected to Diddy, his silence is paramount. There is growing concern that powerful figures may go to extreme lengths to keep him quiet, ensuring he doesn't share any incriminating details that could ruin them. The question of whether Diddy will survive his time behind bars, both physically and legally, remains at the forefront of this unfolding drama. With his past controversies and unresolved scandals casting a long shadow, the world watches closely to see if this once untouchable mogul will finally face the consequences of his actions. As his legal battle continues, Diddy's life in the dangerous Metropolitan Detention Center underscores just how far he's fallen from his once lavish lifestyle. The brutal conditions of the prison, combined with the looming threat from enemies both inside and outside, create a precarious situation that could end in more than just legal trouble. The pressure is mounting, and Diddy's next steps could determine not only his fate, but also shake the foundations of an industry already rife with secrets and scandals. Whether Diddy decides to speak or remain silent, the implications are enormous. The legal case has peeled back the layers of a much darker story, one that touches on the very fabric of fame and power in the entertainment world. If these rumors are true, the revelations could be earth-shattering, leaving a trail of shattered reputations and ruined lives in their wake. What was once thought to be just another celebrity controversy may very well become one of the biggest scandals the industry has ever seen. What do you think about Diddy's situation? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates on this shocking case. Thanks for watching.